Okay, hello and welcome to another tutorial. Another? The first tutorial or second? Um, I don't know. Welcome to the tutorial. So I'm going to teach you how to do vector masks in Photoshop CC 2017 at the moment. The beauty with getting Photoshop CC is that you will get the latest Photoshop and all the other packages as and when they're released. You just upgrade them as and when you go. The downside is that it costs £50 a month. Ridiculous. But there we go. So upsides is it's great. Downsides is it's fucking expensive, exorbitant. So I've drawn an ellipse here, and if you hold command over this ellipse, I'm taking you through the vector mask. If you hold the command over this and you click on it, it's gonna select this area. Okay. Now, I prefer to put this in a group so that you can have various layers within a group. So Command G will put this into a group. So it's called Group 1. Okay. So we've got an ellipse and it's within a group. So click the ellipse, hold Command, get this little select area come up, select the area which it has done, click on the group, the folder, and here you will find Add Layer Mask. So click on that, and what it's done is it's selected. It's masked off the area that you selected, which is the circle. So anything outside of the circle will not be shown. Anything inside the circle will be shown. I'll just demonstrate that now. So if I create a new layer above the circle and I get a paintbrush and I select a different colour, like a pink, and I go like this, you can see that, okay, that's working. If I create a new layer and put some text in and say hello, it's not showing because it's outside, but you bring it inside, this font's everywhere at the moment. Lobster. You see it everywhere lately. I'm going to change that. It's such a popular font, it's ridiculous. So hello, and no matter how big you make that, it's going to be applied to. It's not gonna go out. Nothing's gonna go out of this circle. Okay, so that's a vector mask in its its basic. Now, if you wanted to say add a stroke to this, you can't, because if you add a stroke to this stroke and you want an outside stroke, it's not gonna show, because we've got a black stroke. It's not going to show because the vector mask is masking it out. Okay, so you could duplicate that and you could put it above the vector mask. There you go, it's there. But then you've got the problem of the colour, the fill. Is 100%. Okay, the fill's 100%. So what you can do is you can reduce the fill to 0, and here you can adjust the stroke to how you want. You can add all sorts of effects. You could have a bevel emboss. if you wanted, you know. Doesn't really, you know, you can do, you know, you've got all of these stuff. You've got bevel emboss, strokes, multiple strokes, you know, inner shadows, all sorts of stuff, but we're not going to get into that. That's just what you can do. Okay, so that's basically masking a shape, you know. Fair enough. You can mask text, so you can do the same with text. So you can write hello. Okay, so get hello, make it nice and big. Hello, hello. Everyone does hello. Pick a word, Dolly.
Baby man.
Baby man. So let's try baby man, because hello is just so boring. It's what I'd call bootstrap boring. Because bootstrap always, you know, it's like hello, Apple and bootstrap boring. They're good. I love bootstrap. I use bootstrap at work. It's fantastic. Bootstrap. If you're into web design, bootstrap's the way forward. It's fantastic. But it's always hello, hello. You know, there's reasons for that, but let's not go into that. Let's not get sidetracked. Baby man. Okay, so I'll make it into a group. I think it's always good practice just to put things in groups, because you've got a bit more control over it. So if you can get used to that, Command G is to put things in. If you're working on Mac, it's probably Control G. Normally, that's the difference between Mac and. I think there's going to come a time when they just unify it all. You know, just have a big kind of meeting, like the European Union, and say we're going to all do something the same way. You know.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Yeah, well, yeah, it should happen, but in computers,
yeah,
as opposed to, you know, anything else, you know, Brexit and stuff like that, you know. So I'm going to again do the same thing. It doesn't change with text and stuff like that. You're just going to press Command, hit Baby Man, and it's going to select that area. Now, if at this point I selected here and I pressed that, the only things that are going to show in this group are going to be what I do here. So if I put some grey, you know, it's just going to show what's in there. You know, it's going to be masked, as we discussed before. Now, if we went back a bit, and we've got this selected. If at this point, when you select Baby Man, like so you hold Command, you select Baby Man. If you wanted everything else to be affected, then you'd press Command Shift I, which is inverse selection. So basically, reverse the selection. So everything out of Baby Man will show. And then you click on Group 2 and then hit that button. So now everything outside of... Has that worked? I was expecting... No, I don't know if that's worked. That's not what I was expecting to happen. So... So let's get my head around this. So select Baby Man. Select that, that's fine. That shows everything in. Oh yeah, of course it would. No, that's fine. Yeah, so it's going to hide Baby Man, of course. So if you select Baby Man, Command Shift I, it's going to hide Baby Man. If you still wanted this to show, you would just create a new layer and drag it outside of the vector mask, so it's still there. And then in this layer, you create a new layer and you would and you just draw stuff, you know, like you know, which is kind of pointless because you might as well just create 2 layers. But I'm just showing that you can create inverse selections. So I mean that's the point of that tutorial, is that you can create inverse selections. Bit pointless if I'm honest, but Command Shift I, you can create inverse selections. If you're struggling with something that needs that might come in useful. I mean currently, you know, we're not dealing with anything that needs that. I'm just showing you all the possible masking options in text, in vector shapes, stuff like that. Now you can drag images into here as well. So you've got this hello, okay. You've got this. Get this. I've got an image here, okay. So this is like a weird. This is like a car park, okay. So you want a car park in a circle. Wow, okay. So look at that. You've got a car park in a circle. I mean, what else would you want? You know, hold Command T, and you can just get that to the right size. You know, and you can position things really well like this. That's gone upside down, hasn't it? I think. Yeah, that's better. You know, you can position things really well. I mean, this is great if you're doing like web stuff. I don't know, if you're doing web stuff and you want images of profiles. If you imagine this is a person's picture, you know, you want to position them and you want to create, you know, a ton of things. You know, this would be the way to go. You would have a template with a circle, and you would drag the pictures in and move them about so they look good. You know, and position them. Bob's your uncle. I can't really think of any other vector. You know, you could do loads of crazy stuff with vectors. You know, you could do stuff with spliced lines and all sorts. I mean, if you went really quickly, okay. So if you went, here we go. So if you went, I don't know if this will work. If you went, practically speaking, you wanted just like. Drew a stripe, just a load of stripes, yeah, okay. I'm holding Alt here to just replicate it, okay. All these groups, all these rectangles can get messy, so I'm going to group them, Command G, okay, and you're going to twist these, make them bigger. Now, right now, so now, if you press Command G and you want to select all of them, it's not going to work. It's not going to let you do it. Okay, so that's a pain in the ass. So, what you've got to do is you've got to hold Command G, command, okay, and you got to click on one of them. Okay. Then you've got to hold Shift as well, and you've got to press that one. Keep Shift held. Select them all. You know, it's a pain in the arse, but you've got to Command and Shift and select them all. Then you can add your vector mask into the group. Whoops. There you go, so it's done it. So now if you drag this photo in again, it will create, you know, you can position stuff around, you know, and you can, you know, all it's doing is showing the background beneath. The background can be anything. The background you can now work on, and you can go, oh, I want some, you know, I want some crazy green. Okay. You know, I want some crazy I want some crazy yellow. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm calling them crazy green and crazy yellow, it's because it's what's done on the internet. If you put crazy in front of stuff, generally it makes it better. So crazy red, crazy green, and crazy yellow sounds better than red, yellow, and green. So, you know, you've done that, okay? So, just so we've got a handle on, let's get rid of this because it's going to get confusing for people. So, we've got a background, which is that. We've then got a group above, which consists of a photograph, okay? But it's masked out using these. I mean, we can get rid of these now. They've done their job of creating the mask. The mask is there. So all we've got is a mask. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't gone quite to the edge, but you know, should have thought of that before. And we've got a photo. And what you can do, you can probably, you know, what happens if we put a drop shadow on this? Okay, there's a drop shadow on the mask. I think we zoomed in too much. I think that's the problem. So I mean, if we took this whole group, what would happen? If I press Command T on it, okay. Oh, you can do that. There you go. Not going to be great for reproduction, like quality and stuff, but it's still all there. Okay, so got that. If you want to add effects to this, you know, color overlays, gradients. Yeah, I mean that's a different thing. But the possibilities of masking are great. You got bitmap, you got text, vector text. You can basically create a mask with anything. I mean, to give you a real world kind of usage of this, which I use in my job, is if you want to create a template for maybe a profile or something on a web thing. So what you would do, you'd create a square, okay? So this would be your template. You'd say, okay, I want my photograph to be in here, okay? So this might be like a profile or something, okay? So you'd call this profile. And if you're translating this into web, then you'll want that to be the same. Okay, so you go profile, and then you would select this command, hit that profile. Okay, so it's masked that off, and then imagine this is a picture of a hunky dude or a girl, and you'd put it in here, and you drop it in here. You'd press Command T and you'd resize it nicely to fit. You know, nice and easily done. I would. There you go. So there's that. I mean, you could also, you know, if you wanted to add any effects or anything, you could duplicate this. You could add effects above, and just to keep things nice and neat, you could group these, and you could call this, you know, profile. You would call this effects. you would reduce the fill of this so it doesn't show anything, and maybe you would add a stroke. You know, a stroke, maybe a drop shadow. Anything else you decided, gradient, you know, probably going a bit over the top, but you get my drift. So this would be effects. This would be actually where the image is, and you could just swap the image out every time. You could just add them in here. You could call this image 1.
Pause.
Hmm?
Go back to the navigation.
Okay, I can't pause. Image 1, so you just have that. You know, you can reposition the picture however you want. You know, and that's the way you do it. So that is basically vector masks as I know it. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. If you've got any comments how my tutorials could be improved, I'd appreciate them, because I would like to try and share my knowledge of Photoshop with people. And okay, that's it. Laters.